Meditation from Clear Visibility book. First sample. Meditative basis to the positive consciousness bearing. Meditation from Clear Sight. High and Highest Meditation by Billy.
Meditative basis to the positive consciousness bearing. The true wealth of the meditative basis to the positive consciousness bearing rests in the true insight and in the true knowledge, learning and experience, that the omnipotence of one's own thoughts and feelings steers all functions and processes of life as a whole. Opposed to this is the blind belief in an all-directing God and in amulets that fend off calamity, magical talismans, ritualistic acts and hallowed places of worship, holy rituals and relics, consecrated shrines, hallowed and holy water, holy breads and wines, etc. Knowledge is, in its essence, wisdom and positive neutral power, in comparison with which belief is a lack of understanding and a phenomenon of intellectual feeling related, as well as psyche consciousness related, misdirected mechanisms without knowledge regarding the creational spiritual and creational natural laws and directives. From this it clearly and definitively follows that recognition, knowledge, learning, experience and wisdom are alone, the true factors that exhibit real values and are evolutively effective and build a positive basis to the positive consciousness bearing, while, in contrast to this, the belief is a path to destruction and devolution, and leads to insanity and confusion, as well as to a perturbed consciousness bearing. A meditative basis to the positive consciousness bearing consists in the value that the consciousness is steered by corresponding meditative thoughts and feelings, and is consciously formed. The meditative form with this consists in that certain thoughts are consciously cultivated again and again, through which corresponding feelings are triggered, which manifest themselves in the psyche in a beneficial and positive balanced way and form this, whereby the consciousness is stimulated in the same manner, and a consciously positive consciousness bearing emerges. The meditative thoughts and feelings are cultivated again and again by thinking or muttering several times daily, 3 to 4 times, a specific sentence for about 5 minutes, and exercising deliberate attentiveness on what is spoken. The one and same sentence may have a use for a single day, or for several days depending on need, more precisely, for as long and often till the content of the sentence has become consciously self-evident. Thereby, the meditative basis to the positive consciousness bearing may become a long process, which may take several months or even a whole year. This naturally does not happen in such a way that, for this entire time, only a single sentence is applied to the meditative basis of the consciousness bearing because, truly, the whole program of points for meditative use comprises 77, which by and by must find a use in order to achieve the total extent of the goal. Additionally, these 77 points are about learning to trust one's own potential, and are also about getting rid of fears, living with oneself in peace, and enjoying life in abundance. Also integrated is one's own exaltedness, as well as the health and vitality, the finder of creative problem solutions, the correct cultivation of thoughts, and the successful life. The 77 steps of meditative cultivation of thoughts and feelings necessary for this are divided into the following sentences. 1. To live in today's world, I must be strong and develop tenacity with regard to my consciousness and my intellect. 2. The more tranquil and tenacious I become, the more I cope with difficulties. 3. The creational natural power is within myself, and I use this, putting it into effect in my thinking and acting. 4. I change myself positively within my consciousness bearing and utilize my creational natural power within myself for this. 5. I am strong within myself and change my mental self-image positively. 6. Everything is achievable for me, and I master whatever I wish to accomplish. 7. I always raise my view, recognize all possibilities, and am a positive thinker. 8. I cope with all difficulties with courage and a victor's readiness. 9. I will always be as good and positive as my thoughts, feelings, and actions actually are. 10. Within me exists neither anxiety nor fear. 11. My thoughts and feelings strengthen the trust in myself. 12. I always abide with my knowledge that my thoughts and feelings are positive and generate what is positive. 13. I always find my own strength and can depend on it. 14. I myself always decide and act on my own responsibility and lead and define my life myself. 15. It is a joy to me to know and value myself. 16. Because I cultivate myself, I can depend on myself. 17. My nature is good, and I am a true human. 18. There is no discontent in me because everything moves actively and in contentment. 19. Myself is developed, and I live good with this together in harmony. 20. Because I respect creation, I respect and value also myself. 21. In every respect, I steer my life myself, and I also like my own results that I create. 22. In the consciousness, the psyche, as well as in my thoughts and feelings, I am great and friendly and averse to every humility. 23. My inclination is to live according to the creational laws. 24. I view life and the world optimistically and make the best out of everything. 25. I always do my best and will thus succeed in all that is good. 26. I always accept myself and trust in myself. 27. The constant flux of creational laws and directives is within me as prosperity, which I realize. 28. Good living, wealth, and prosperity are within me in the love, in the happiness, in harmony, peace, and freedom. 29. Everything rich is in thoughts and feelings within me to learn what is rich, to help what is rich, and to create what is rich. 30. Richly positive balanced thoughts, feelings, and words form my consciousness-related bearing through which my inner prosperity and blessedness are expressed. 31. I daily nourish my thoughts and feelings from my consciousness with dynamic richness. 32. I feel joy's testimony within myself and fill it in with cheerfulness, diligence, and indefatigability. 33. My life is zeal, love, modesty, and warmed in goodwill. 34. I feel within myself a great liveliness and a steady new awakening and being-bornness. 35. I daily remind myself of my good intellect and all my capabilities, which I utilize in positive ways. 36. I daily make the best possible out of my capabilities and out of my life. 37. Good positive thoughts and feelings are born daily within me, which I realize. 38. I daily open my eyes in all senses for the beauty and the enchantment of creational nature. 39. I daily am clear and lively in my thoughts and feelings as well as in my psyche and in my consciousness. 40. I daily am full of elan, full of jubilation and emotion, full of loftiness and undauntedness, and act accordingly. 41. My healing thoughts and feelings are the medicine of my psyche and my consciousness.
42. The creational peace has embedded in my consciousness. It soothes, calms, and heals me.
43. I live with my thoughts and feelings within the consciousness, insomuch that I fulfill the creational laws and directives according to my best abilities. 44. I live with the knowledge and the truth within my consciousness, insomuch that the creational spirit as well as its energy and power within me is present within all things. 45. The control over myself lets me be free from anxiety, lovelessness, discord, and from all bad things. 46. Within me is a great, massive, and creative willpower through which I can accomplish all my works. 47. Through my positive thoughts and feelings, I am free and content in all my work. 48. I daily join with the beneficial powers of creation, through which I develop positive powers within my consciousness for my development. 49. Within me reigns the infinite of my life, which continues beyond death in endless further lives. 50. Even problems have their values within me because through these I change the problems around into solutions and success. 51. My reason and my understanding are aligned in such a way that I find creative solutions for everything. 52. In every situation I'm objective, hopeful, and optimistic. 53. I always find all possibilities and solutions, whereby problems are solved at once. 54. In each problem, I recognize immediately its weak points and cope with it with bravery. 55. I am always hopeful and thus cope with even the most difficult things. 56. The more problems I cope with, the more knowing, wiser, and livelier I become. 57. My problems and their solution finding strengthen my consciousness and let me humbly recognize the wisdom of creation. 58. The thoughts and feelings that emerge out of problems for the solution show to me the importance of creativity and progress. 59. With reason and understanding, I cope with every problem on my own. 60. I release myself from every tension by controlling my thoughts and feelings and letting them become creative factors and values. 61. I daily enjoy the moments of silence and listen intensively to the intuitions that spur me steadily to new thoughts, feelings, and actions. 62. In all things that I do, I always take the creational laws and directives as my partners. 63. In all things that I do, I usefully apply my analytical thoughts and thereby always find the right path and the right behavior. 64. If thoughts and feelings are created, then I shape them in knowledge and wisdom, from which I steadily profit. 65. My acquired knowledge gives directions to me on how I must do and not do something. 66. I always keep my spiritual and consciousness-related conduits free, whereby the creational laws and directives can work within me and through me. 67. Within me everything is honest, successful, and happy, whereby I also act with a sense for social responsibility. 68. I am aware of what being a true human means, and I act within the meaning of being a true human. 69. I lead my successful life within the framework of the creational laws and directives.
70. Hard work matters to me and promotes my creative capabilities, as also my perseverance, the joy in working, and the will of goal achievement.
71. For all things, I consciously use my ideas, thoughts, and feelings, gain cognitions, knowledge, and wisdom from that, and progress in life. 72. In all things that I do, I comprise persistence and zeal and always value what I do. 73. I always remain relaxed and thereby gain power over myself. 74. I always see to it that I have quiet moments because they bring me repose, peace, and harmony. 75. I visualize within myself the creational laws and directives and feel protectingly embedded in them. 76. In all things I rise within myself onto a podium and look down at myself from the higher standpoint, whereby I recognize my weaknesses, which I try to correct. 77. I always walk on all paths that call the creational laws to me, therefore my prosperity and adversity are always productive. The aforementioned 77 sentence factors represent a small selection of those meditative values through which a basis to the positive consciousness bearing can be worked out. The form of meditation for this is extremely simple and associated without strain, because only about 5 quiet minutes are necessary a few times daily to perform it, during which one of the mentioned meditation sentences is thought silently or muttered to oneself. At the same time, attention is directed towards the corresponding word order in order to inculcate them and have them become effective. If the sentences are meditatively practiced long enough, then an effect cannot fail to appear, which shows that the consciousness bearing slowly but surely improves and becomes ever more positive balanced. And exactly this is indeed the purpose of practice. Besides the 77 aforementioned sentences, there are still countless others in which it naturally is left up to each human to form his own word orders and sentences according to his own judgment and to use these. With this, it is important only that the described meditation practice is steadfastly adhered to, because only through this can a true success occur, in order to attain a basis to the positive consciousness bearing.
Second sample: tension reaction, relaxation, reaction and relaxation meditation.
Tension reaction, relaxation reaction, and relaxation meditation pp. 85, 86. Meditation from clear visibility. Further introductory words. Solely caused by his or her unconscious or conscious thoughts, the human being is capable of reacting and developing feelings precisely as if the pertinent situation, which is consciously or unconsciously thought up, exists. If that happens, then the entire nervous system mobilizes its resources, whereby the body releases adrenaline and other hormones and drives the blood pressure up, during which a tension of the entire body is triggered, which can call forth anxiety as well as flight reflexes. But with the practice of meditation, exactly such factors, as well as the aforementioned, must not arise, because, with meditation, it is most imperatively necessary that they are entirely turned off, and an absolutely neutral attitude comes to the fore throughout. Simple anxiety on its own, but also excessive anxiety in particular, is a tension reaction which has been driven high, which brings about extraordinarily detrimental effects and brings the nervous system into confusion, which makes a profound meditation totally impossible. Therefore, if anxiety or fear exists, then no attempt should be undertaken to meditate deeply, because this cannot succeed in such a state. Therefore, it is necessary that, by means of a rational and clear relaxation meditation, the origins of the tension reactions of anxiety or fear are fathomed and resolved by the concentrative total clearing up and overcoming of them, whereby a relaxation reaction then arises. The relaxation and calming of the nervous system is based on a clarification of the causes of anxiety, as well as on a clarification of the thoughts and feelings, which brings with it the entering of calm and equanimity, which the state of relaxation meditation calls forth. With this kind of meditation, which serves solely the relaxation, the thoughts and feelings play a very important role, because through them, the necessary effect is attained.
From that it becomes recognizable how very important the thoughts and feelings are, and that these are able to call forth both the negative as well as the positive.
To that end, it is necessary that both the flow of the thoughts as well as the feelings which arise from them, which are equally inevitably present, are observed, understood, and controlled. And in regard to the relaxation reaction, in regard to the controlling of the thoughts and feelings, and thereby also the anxiety and the flight reflexes and so forth, everything can be determined by the thoughts and feelings. The relaxation meditation is to be observed and considered and understood in this sense, because the controlling of the thoughts and feelings for the overcoming of anxiety and flight feelings and so forth, and for the obtaining of the relaxation reaction, is the seal of the relaxation meditation.
Third sample, uses of meditation.
Uses of meditation pp. 86 to 87, meditation from clear visibility, further introductory words. Meditation shows a large palette of very useful effects, because it not only helps in coping with the everyday life, and in coping with stress, problems, grief and worries and so forth. Rather, it also calms, and it creates inner peace, equalizedness, joy, inner freedom and harmony. Also, through meditation, the sleep requirements can be controlled and limited, and along with that, as a result of a targeted meditation, the possibility exists that one becomes free of habits, vices, and addictions. Even the pulse and the blood pressure and even the body temperature can be influenced to a certain degree, just as can external influences of heat and cold on the body. Needless to say, a purposeful meditation is also able to control the pain level and even neutralize the substances supplied to the body. As a result of a suitable meditation, even certain amounts of toxins and alcohol as well as nicotine and drugs can be neutralized, or at least have a more or less limited effect. A further use of meditation also lies in obtaining more appreciation for life, in accepting changes with more equanimity, in coping better with losses, living life more consciously, feeling more for others and having deeper feeling for others, being more affirming of life and more loving, creating true love, facing death with understanding and without anxiety and hate, rather in deep respect, and mastering the grief with dignity and in the understanding of the reality. Along with the aforementioned usefulness and benefits which arise in their special forms through meditation, there are still many more, which are actually unnecessary to cite because they run through the entire existence of the human being and influence his or her entire life. Thus, the entire world of the thoughts is included in that, just as the tremendously manifold universe of the feelings also is, as well as the spheres of the emotions, the work, how one deals with one's fellow human beings and with the fauna and flora. The benefit of the meditation in all its forms and variations is as manifold as the life of the human being is manifold in all his or her own forms and variations.
Fourth sample, meditation for the attainment of inner calm.
Meditation for the attainment of inner calm pp. 208, 210, meditation from clear visibility, high and highest meditation, states of the tension, the chaos, the unrest and the confusion and so forth, are based on vexation, misery, worries and problems, as well as on suffering, pain, affliction, stress and sorrow and so forth, and also creating the preconditions for that are anxieties about oneself, as well as about the family, friends, acquaintances, the work, the political world events, wars, the environment, the climate and social conditions, and so forth. These states can be countered by means of good meditative practices directed at the attainment of inner calm. Through such a meditation, the consciousness of self can be raised again, just as the activity can be produced again, and the worlds of the thoughts and feelings can be purposefully directed at neutral positive aspects. The basic prerequisite for that consists of bringing about a meditative inner quietness, as well as a physical and psychical calm, which leads to the positive equalization of the consciousness. Thereby there is a resolution of the material, thought-feeling-based and emotional confusion, that is to say, the muddle, the disorder and disarray which appear to oppress the mental block through all their negative aspects. As a rule, a meditation for the attainment of inner calm should last for approximately 3 to 5 minutes, whereby the time, however, should not be greatly exceeded, because otherwise the whole thing begins to become laborious. The practice can be carried out several times daily as required, or also at night. And for this form of meditation, there is a string of advice about how to conduct oneself, which can be advantageous to follow, but which can be individually formed. 1. It is advantageous to lie on something comfortable, such as a bed or a couch, and so forth. One can lie down either in a room or outdoors, whereby, however, the temperature should be pleasant, which under certain circumstances can be regulated by a blanket laid over the body. It is thereby also important to feel at ease. Naturally, the meditation practice can also be carried out while sitting or standing, as desired. 2. With the practicing of meditation, one should take care that the clothing is loose and not restrictive, and that the eyes are closed. 3. At the beginning of the practice, it is recommendable to first breathe in and out calmly and deeply about 3 times consecutively, but without concentrating on the rhythm of the breath or on the inhaling or exhaling. 4. An observation of the next inhalations now follows until only they are perceived, and a freeing from the thoughts, that is to say, an absence of thought thereby arises. 5. Once this state has been reached, there arises a general relaxation, which is used for the creation of a swinging wave of the inner peace, which occurs as a result of the heedfulness quite simply being guided onto a generally peaceful situation. The swinging wave thereby spreads over the entire mental block, as well as over the body. 6. Now one must persist in this state of the swinging waves of peace for 1 to 2 minutes, without thereby allowing any thoughts free rein, without wanting anything and without doing anything, and without paying attention to anything. 7. The mediation practice ends after 3 to 5 minutes by inhaling deeply 3 times, without observing the following exhalations. After that, the eyes are opened. If it occurs that one goes to sleep during this meditation and only awakens again after a long time, then that is of absolute insignificance in regard to the practice itself. On the contrary, with this meditation practice, sleep, a sleepy calm, or similar states of the consciousness are a good sign, because it shows that the meditation has its effect and brings about a relaxation. In turn, relaxation is a good sign that the body and the entire mental block, the thoughts and feelings, the psyche and the consciousness, are finally ready to allow themselves to drop away and free themselves of all the negative effects of the tensions, the chaos, the confusions, and the unrest, and so forth.